friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name's Jackie, and let's get started. For DIY number one, I am taking one of these palette looking pumpkin signs from the Dollar Tree, and it was missing the little galvanized piece, so I got it for 50 cents. And I'm going to go in with 3 fabrics that I purchased from the Dollar Tree as well, Cottagecore, and they're the craft fabrics because our item for this challenge is fabric. So I'm going to remove all the packaging, and I'm just going to jump right in and start Mod Podging with my dishwasher safe Mod Podge. And I'm going to begin adding the Mod Podge to the second slat. I'm going to leave the first one as is for now because I have other plans. So here I'm just going to add the Mod Podge, and I'm going to add a pretty good amount. And here I'm going to add my piece of fabric. I'm going to go with this one first, this really cute pattern with the leaves. And I'll add some more Mod Podge on top like this. And then I'll go ahead and for the second one, I'll go ahead and cut it out this time. So I'll go ahead and add the Mod Podge, and then I'll go ahead and add the strip on here like this. And then I'll smooth it out, make it nice and smooth and straight as possible. And I'll go in with some more Mod Podge, and I'll do a really good coating. And then I'll continue with the next two. So with this one, I'll do the scarecrow fabric. The second one was the pumpkins. So here I'll add some more Mod Podge, and here's my third piece of fabric, and cover that with Mod Podge. Do a really good coating. And then the last one, the last piece on the bottom, I'm going to first go in with some of this apple barrel paint in the color khaki, and I'm going to do a couple coats just to make sure that nothing peeks through. And when I get it all painted up, then I'll go ahead and add the Mod Podge to it like this. And for this bottom piece, I'm going to use some burlap. So I'm just going to add the burlap and press it and add more Mod Podge again. And once I get this done, then I'll set it aside for a few hours, go do something else, and allow this to dry completely. So, but here you see I'm really adding a lot of Mod Podge. A lot. It needs a lot, especially burlap. It needs a lot of Mod Podge. Okay, so here I'm going to let it dry, and here it is, nice and dry. And I'm going to go in with my cutting knife, my X-Acto knife, and cut out all the excess fabric that's on here. And if you added enough Mod Podge, this will cut off really easily. Okay, so here they are, all nice and cut. And so here I'm going to go in with these ribbons that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to go in with this orange burlap ribbon. This is a new one, it's a fall one. And I'm just going to add a really small bead of glue and glue it down. And I'll do the same with this new burlap one. It's a skinny burlap ribbon, and I'll add that on there with another bead of glue like this. And then I'll go in with this lacy one. This one's been around for a while. It's really pretty. And so I'll do the same, add a nice bead of glue and set it down like this. And then the last one, I'm going to use this, it's like a burlap check, like orange check ribbon. And so I'll do the same, and now I'll flip it over, and with my detail scissors just snip off any excess ribbons that are sticking out. And if there's any excess fabric that you missed, you can always get it this way as well, or you can actually just do it this way. Yeah, sure. So here now I'm going to get some more of my ribbons, and I'm going to get 2 of each because I'm just going to make a messy bow. So once I get them all cut, then I'll just arrange them the way I want them. And so I'll just do a good layer like this, and then I'll do a second layer going the opposite way of the original ribbons. And then with a piece of jute twine, I'll secure it really well with a good double knot like this. And so once I get that done, then I'll snip off the excess jute twine, and now I'll just do a little trimming and make sure all the ribbons are the same length like this. And now I'm ready to adhere it to my sign, and I'll just do a nice big glob of glue, hold it down, and I'll just secure the two bottom pieces of ribbon with some glue just to make sure that they don't cover the wording. And I add a cute little wooden mushroom in the center just to give that cottagecore feel. And that is it. What do you guys think? Super cute. Today's video is a part of So You Think You Can Craft challenge, and it is a monthly challenge hosted by Melissa over at Melissa Makes It DIY. And today her co-host is Maddie over at Artsy Maddie. And so in this challenge, every month there's a different item to craft with, and today's crafting challenge item is fabric. And so with this challenge, there's a playlist, so when you're done watching my video, please head on over to my description box and follow the playlist and get lots of inspiration. Alright, let's head on over to DIY number 2. This one here, I'm taking one of these pumpkins from the Dollar Tree that's nicely decorated, but I have other plans. So I'm removing all of the embellishments and save them for another project. And so here I'm taking a nice doily from the Dollar Tree, and it's fabric. So hey, and so I'm just going to fold it in a manner of bunching it up like this. And I'm just going to cinch it closed, and I'm going to take a nice long piece of jute twine, wrap it around to secure it really well, do a double knot as well, and I'll fluff up all the fabric pieces, pull them up so they're nice and fluffy. And then I'll take this piece of stem that actually came from the Dollar Tree from last year, and I'll just stick it inside the center. And now I'm taking some berry garland, and I'm snipping off what I want, and I'm going to use a dowel to wrap it around and create the trundles. And now I'm just going to attach this to the underneath part where the jute twine's at, and I figured it's a little bit too long, so I'll snip it in half, and I'll use the other end. I'll use the other piece for the other end and and attach it in the same manner underneath the jute twine like this. So now I'm just going to go in with a couple of these beautiful maple leaves, and I'm just going to add a couple dabs of glue and place them inside to embellish them a little bit. And that is it. What do you guys think? Super cute. For DIY number 3 and my last DIY of the day, I picked up these really cute ceramic loaf pans at my local thrift store. And on one, I'm going to just go in and add a little bit of this apple barrel paint in the color khaki on the underneath because it looked a little bit rough. And on the second one, I go in with the Waverly chalk paint in the color celery and give it a nice, good, thorough coating. And so what I'm planning to do with these is I'm going to incorporate these in the cottagecore aesthetic because the fresh bread is a part of it. So I'm going to create some bread. and you'll see where the fabric comes in on this one. Okay, so here they are nice and painted. Well, one is painted completely. The other one I just painted the underneath. Okay, so here I'm taking this block of styrofoam, and I don't know where I got this from, but I've had it in my stash. And then I love this tool from the Dollar Tree. Oh my goodness, this tool is fantastic for cutting styrofoam. So I'll cut this styrofoam and I'll check and see how it fits inside and slice off the piece I don't need. And yes, this is going to be my bread, my loaf of bread. Yes, it is. So I'll go ahead and measure and cut out the second one in the same manner and like this, and it's there we are. It's nice and cut. So here again, I'm going to go in with the apple barrel color khaki, and I'm going to paint these up like this until they're all painted. And so now as they're drying, I'm taking these pieces of burlap and I'm going to hot glue them inside of these pans just to give it a nice, another look of the cottagecore. And so here are my 2 loaves, and I'm going to stick them both in. And I know what you're thinking, those don't look like loaves. Yes, stick with me, they will. Okay, so here I picked up this fat quarter from Walmart actually, and I'm going to snip off a section of it. I'm just going to cut it with my scissors like this, and once I get it cut, then I'll fold it in half and I'll cut it in half, because I'm going to create some cottagecore napkins to cover up the bread with. Yeah, that's different. So this one's really easy. So now I'm just adding a bead of glue and I'm folding the edges down like this. And so I'll do it all the way around until I get all 4 edges nice and adhered, and that way it looks nice and clean. And you can sew this with the sewing machine, of course, but it's just easier just to use some hot glue. And if you rub it down and kind of massage it a little bit, then it won't feel bulky like hot glue sticking up. It'll be nice and smooth. So here they are, perfect. And so now I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, okay, they need a little bit more color. So I'm going back in with my khaki apple barrel paint, and now I'm going to go in with a little bit of the melted chocolate just because of the color. I wanted a little bit of a richness. So now with these 2 colors mixed together, now this is going to make it look more like the fresh bread. And so I'm going to go around the 2 sides of each of the loaves and leave the center light to resemble fresh bread. You know how the center always kind of is lighter and kind of like pops up? Yeah, that's the look I'm going for. You guys gotta tell me, does this look like fresh bread to you? Well, kind of, sorta. Kind of, sorta. So I'll just continue this manner of painting this crust, I guess the crust of the bread, and leaving the center light until they look like this. And here they are. What do you guys think? And here's the whole cottagecore vignette. What do you guys think? And I'd like to take a moment and thank Melissa and Maddie for hosting and co-hosting this challenge. I had a lot of fun creating for it. I really do enjoy the cottagecore aesthetic. I think it's just so warm and cozy. And I felt using fabric for this style is perfect because the fabrics are so beautiful for cottagecore. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and please follow the playlist and watch what everybody else has decided to create. And so to my next video, stay healthy, safe, and strong, and have a great day. Bye-bye.